Yo, welcome back guys. So I want to cover why your credentials don't matter. If you want deep singing knowledge that you'll get nowhere else, subscribe and please pound that thumbs up button. I often get a certain type of comment, a certain type of reaction to my content which I've been thinking for a while that I should respond to more formally. Let's look at an example. So feel free to pause the video and go through this in some detail. I'm just going to pull out two particular things that I want to focus on today. Firstly, Teresa Carroll says, I've worked with professionals from musical theatre and opera as well as having sessions with a speech pathologist who specialises in helping singers. They would all agree that putting pressure on your vocal cords is harmful. And secondly, a little bit later on, they're not my ideas. There's literally an entire branch of science devoted to this, and you're doing all the things that ENT and speech pathologists specifically told me not to do. They are board certified in their specialities. What are you? Before I go into responding to this specific issue, I want to cover a couple of things. My journey into voice coaching hasn't been typical. In fact, quite the opposite. I came up at a very specific time, and in many ways my particular journey would be impossible to replicate via a more typical route into singing and singing teaching. This journey has somewhat put me at odds with conventional thinking about singing and voice teaching. I want to be open with you guys. My baseline view about voice teaching in general is this: we got it wrong. And I include myself in that. We all got it wrong. I think of the common orthodoxy, which contains many vague areas of focus such as support, breathing, posture, singing in the mask, open throat. I see all of this as the dogma of voice teaching. I talk about these issues very plainly and without any mystery, and because of this I'm always aware and have a sense that I'm going against the tide of orthodoxy. So I often get pushback and the "you don't know what you're talking about, you're just some dude on the internet" type comments, and yeah, at times it bothers me because I know I'm not just some dude on the internet. But in a sense, yeah, I am just some dude on the internet. My work on this channel is really an attempt to start over, cut out all the fat, get rid of all of the dogma and silliness, and build things correctly from the ground up so that people in the future will have a better framework and platform to build from. So what's the point in all this? What does this have to do with your credentials? I want to make it very clear to anybody watching my content that appeals to authority do not work with me. I don't care what degree you have from Yale, Harvard, Oxford or Cambridge. I don't care how many famous singers you've trained. I don't care how high up the tree you or others think you are. I don't care if what you're saying comes from the most highly regarded voice pathologist or ENT in the country. I do not care. I care about what you can do and how well you can explain what you can do, and that's it. That is it. I'm the coach putting out 2-hour live streams every week with no cuts, no tricks, nothing to hide behind, and standing by those performances as, hey, look, this is where my ideas lead to. I'm the one explaining to you guys how I moved from where I was to where I am today. I'm the one still getting better. 6 months ago, I wasn't the singer I am today, and that will be the same in 6 months' time. And outside of my own work in singing, yes, I am blowing people's minds. Here's a couple of examples from just last week.
I came miles and miles last time when I realized that I could go so high up by flipping over. It was like, I asked you, is it C3? No, it's C5. What? That was like mind-blowing for me.
I can sometimes be singing songs hitting a G, A flat, A, which before I would, if I had to hit a G, I just have had to scream at the top of my lungs. And now I can just be like relaxed and singing it, and it's just like, wow, that's easy. It's an absolute, like a completely different way of singing for me. It's, oh, it really is a breakthrough. It's like, how, so that's how people are doing it, kind of. Why didn't I think of that 20 years ago when I started out in the music business?
So yes, maybe I can blow your mind too. Maybe I can show you what's possible with the right approach, but, and this is a big but, you have to open your mind first and accept the idea that perhaps, just maybe, a lot of what we think we know about singing is wrong. Perhaps some nobody guy on the internet happened to figure this all out, and maybe it will take the establishment decades to catch up to him. Perhaps sometimes in life going against the tide can produce the best results. Perhaps this guy is a unicorn, and perhaps you were wrong. What's up guys? Let me know what you think in the comments. This is just some of my ideas. I wanted to put this out there and really kind of knuckle down, just real clean slate. This is what I think about appeals to authority. Now, I'm not saying that all appeals to authority aren't valid. Sometimes they are, sometimes they aren't. But conversely, sometimes an appeal to "you're just some dude on the internet" can also be incorrect. So it's just my attempt to really get you to start thinking about this. Just because somebody is an authority, it doesn't mean we have to accept what they say, and vice versa. Just because I'm some dude on the internet, maybe I have got something to say, maybe I've got something important I'm trying to get across to people out there. If you want deep singing knowledge that you'll get nowhere else, then subscribe, and please pound that thumbs up button. I'll see you in another video. Take care. Bye.